Ladies and gentlemen, Barcelona have 1.5 foot inside the semifinals of the Champions League. Barcelona beat Borussia Dortmund 4-0 and they are almost already through. Let's break it down in today's video. My reactions and opinions, let's go. What's going on, guys? ¿Cómo están? BugaLuis here and welcome back to another video here on the channel. And yes, Barcelona are almost through now to the next stage of the Champions League after a stellar performance against Borussia Dortmund in Montjuic. 4 goals, one from Raphinha, which he stole from Cubarsí, let's be honest. 2 goals from Lewandowski and 1 final goal from Lamine Yamal. I'm telling you right now, this team is not playing like quarterfinalists. They're playing like finalists. They are playing like champions. They are playing like winners. Of course, Barcelona came into this game with very high expectations. Barcelona are, of course, I think by most people, maybe the favorites to win the tournament as a whole because of the way that they're playing, because of the team that Hansi Flick has built. And today against Borussia Dortmund, there certainly was a little bit of a gulf in quality, a little bit of a difference in that same word, quality. And I think that showed a little bit, but still, Champions League games are always very hard. We can see how maybe it will tend to complicate you a bit. Barcelona have tend to almost screw things up when it comes to situations like this. They always maybe struggle, they could have shot themselves in the foot, but they didn't do it this time. Let's take a look right away at how Barcelona lined up in this game, because I think that some of you were probably going to be surprised with that guy who started today in the midfield, and his name was Fermín López. First of all, in the goalkeeper position, we had Wojciech Szczesny, we already know by heart. Jules Koundé, who's been playing 101 matches in a row. Pau Cubarsí, Íñigo Martínez, and Alejandro Balde. In the midfield, Pedri, Frenkie de Jong, Raphinha, Lamine Yamal, Fermín López as the number 10, and Robert Lewandowski through the middle. Borussia Dortmund went with Gregor Kobel, they went with Ryerson, Emre Can, Anton, and Bensebaini, and Mecha, Czarnik, Chukwuemeka, Karim Adeyemi, Julian Brandt, Jamie Bino Giddens, and then up top, Sergiu Guirassy. I think that Hansi Flick went with this lineup thinking, you know what, Fermín López will give me that work rate. He will give me that, I think, that dynamism, that versatility. Fermín López is someone that can play a little bit stuck more to the flank. He can drop in a little bit deeper. He can be attacking the space. Fermín López is just someone very difficult to mark. And when you're playing against a team like Borussia Dortmund that, again, for instance, you take a look at this team, there was not a proper CDM in the side. Fermín López was going to create headaches for Enmecha, for Chukwuemeka, for Anton, and Emre Can. For that midfield four, for those four that were sort of defending that space where Fermín was going to occupy, that would be absolute trouble for them. And I think Fermín López did exactly that. Maybe not in the first half, but in the second half, he was absolutely excellent. And you know what, guys? The very first goal was not tiki-taka. It's not the normal Gengar pressing from Hansi Flick either. It's this. It's a set piece. It's a set piece goal in which I forgot Fermín López actually took this. So kudos to him. Kudos to the guy. Fermín López, you know what? Let's just take a moment. It's out of this world because really he does not, I mean, on paper, it's like, he may not be needing to compete. He doesn't deserve, people could say, to be, you know, compared to the likes of Gavi, Pedri, Frenkie de Jong. All of these players are huge names, had incredible seasons, but yet Fermín López still doing his work, being very humble. He gets into positions like this and he looks to be such an important key for Barcelona. I think, honestly, he could become a regular starter now with Dani Olmo being injured. Let's see how it goes. So Fermín López takes the shot there. And then, of course, we see how Íñigo Martínez brings it down. And it's Pau Cubarsí with Raphinha touching it off the line, guys. And here, immediate thought, I was like, Raphinha, why did you do this? This was like Nani all over against with Portugal, where Ronaldo scored that golazo and Nani took it off the line. Well, mainly, I thought something similar would happen here. You can see that Raphinha just touched the ball there. So, of course, this was going to be a goal for Raphinha. I knew that as soon as I saw it. But the importance, I think, of it is to understand the offside. You can see there the offside, but it looks offside from this angle. But when you actually take a look and slant the pitch a little bit, it's Bino Giddens, I think, who is... No, it's not Bino Giddens. It's Guirassy, who is actually, you know, keeping Raphinha on side. So there's no problem with that. I think that that's a fine goal with that being said. So surprising. You know, Barcelona can score from a variety of different situations, a variety of different ways. And I think that's what you need for a team to be champion. That's what you need for a team to be winning games like this, because you need to be able to be versatile. Either if your system is not working 100%, you need to be able to be a little bit moldable. You know, you need to adapt and you need to be able to find different ways to score goals. And Barcelona does that. I think that Barcelona, this is one of the best Barcelonas I've seen from set pieces in quite a while. And actually, I have no problem in saying it. I think this is the best Barcelona from set pieces I've seen. Maybe you could say that Messi, when he's on a free kick, it's equally as good. But as a proper collective, you know, trying to do something that's actually meaningful from a set piece, you know, either un balón parado that actually has some sort of flair to it, there's actually some sort of planning to it. This is the best Barcelona I've seen. After that, we see this incredible golazo from Lewandowski. And even though the actual goal was not a golazo, but the creativity that is being put here, I just need to explain to you guys. So with this movement, you see Lamine Yamal, he kind of already pushes the entirety of the Dortmund defense to kind of cut short, you know, to go and protect the small area within the box, because they think that Lamine Yamal is going to shoot. But no, Lamine Yamal in the last final second, what does he do? He decides, you know what, I'm going to pass to Raphinha, who I see over there at the back. I'm going to pass to Raphinha. I'm going to pass it over there. And that's exactly what Lamine Yamal does. He gets the ball to Raphinha, and Raphinha does a chip cross with his head and finds Robert Lewandowski. I think this goal describes perfectly how the three of our front players, our front three, are playing so good. I want to keep it here on this still image of Raphinha and Lewandowski, because at this moment, these two were per se perhaps the players with the most recognition, you know, because of how many goals they're scored. I actually want to see which of them is higher on the UCA table now, because I think that now with Raphinha and Lewandowski, you see they're both top, you know. Raphinha has 12 goals in 11 games, and Lewandowski has 11 goals in 11 games played. This is absolutely outstanding numbers. Raphinha is only 2 goals away from equaling Messi's best total in the competition. That's unreal. That's unheard of. So kudos to them. But what Lamine Yamal is doing behind the scenes and the way that he generates football just need to be talked about. You know, him, Pedri, Frankie de Jong, I think those three are at an incredible level. And the way that they're creating, it's out of this world, particularly Lamine Yamal, you know, because one-on-one, he's out of this world. But you know what, guys? That's not all, because Lamine Yamal still has this in his locker. He finds, look at the pass that he puts to Fermin. Look at that ball to Fermin Lopez. That's absolutely outrageous. Like, I don't want to put pressure on the kid. Like, I mean, everyone is doing it. But when you have somebody as good as Lamine Yamal that's able to one-on-one be spectacular and, you know, turn up when your team needs him the most, he can also put in this pass, this ball, this very soft, low cross to low through ball to Fermin Lopez. That Fermin Lopez, then what he does with it, well, he finds Robert Lewandowski with a very sweet low cross. And Lewandowski just completely blasts Kobel and puts it into the back of the net. I think what I'm seeing right now, I'm speechless, guys. I'm speechless. I don't know really how to comment on this after all. Fermin Lopez gets another assist to Lewandowski. Lewandowski who scores yet another goal. And Barcelona were dominating at this point. I think the 2-0, by this stage of the game, Barcelona were far superior. They were far, far superior by this stage of the game. And they were kind of already controlling the tempo of it. However, this final goal, I think, is what made Borussia Dortmund crumble. I think that so far 2-0, if you go to the Signal Iduna Park with this result, you know, anything can happen. 2-0 goals, we've seen it before. Teams can come back from that. Barcelona, hell, they come back from 4-0. Maybe Dortmund can do that. Who knows? But we still need to be reserved. We need to be calm. And I think that this way that Barcelona is playing, because they allow Dortmund to, you know, push the lines a little bit and bang, they hit them on the counter-attack. We saw it yesterday. Arsenal 2-0 down. They have the same philosophy in the sense that, hey, we're winning. Let's win by more goals. And I think that's the most important thing that you can bring to a team. That sort of mentality, that sharpness, that, hey, you want to hunt for more. You want to conquer this team. You want to dominate them. You always want to strive for more. And that is something that Hansi Flick is doing with Barcelona. And last but not least, guys, we have this goal that is for Lamine Yamal. He certainly deserved it after or during the game. You know, he deserved for what he did. But I want to talk about a little bit about Raphinha here, actually, because we've already talked about Lamine Yamal plenty and loads already here in the channel in this video. Every video we do, we talk about Lamine Yamal. I want to talk about Raphinha here because Raphinha is an interesting player, you know. He's so versatile. He moves quite a lot. He's someone that occupies so much space. And whenever your team needs him, he appears. I think that is the best thing about Raphinha. I think that Raphinha is such a key player because mentally he's so strong. If I had to put into words, maybe his two best attributes is his space and his mentality. Because mentally, he never crumbles. He always strives for more. We see him here, minute 76, I think it's on screen. And he still pushes, he still runs. And if he didn't make this run to find Lamine Yamal, then this pass wouldn't happen. Look also at the quality that he's had on his feet. Look at how with his left foot, with mainly not that much of a trajectory, you know, he doesn't have that much space to put a hard long ball into Lamine Yamal. He doesn't care. Look at the curve on it with just a simple touch. Incredible what Raphinha did there. And then of course Lamine Yamal cancels it. Maybe takes a bad touch too close to Bensebaini, but doesn't really matter. He scores a goal. Barcelona 4-0. And Barcelona already have a foot and a half into the semifinals of the Champions League. Barcelona need to be careful. Of course, they need to be very careful. We don't know what will happen. We don't know what will happen in the Signal Iduna Park. But so far, job done. You know, this is exactly what we wanted from this team to do. Job done. Let's progress. Move on to the next stage. I think Barcelona are doing something special this season. I really do think that. Moving on now, there's a guy I want to talk about. And that is this guy right here. Íñigo Martínez. What a player. What a player. Íñigo Martínez, an absolute rock, an absolute wall. Such a good defender. My goodness. He's the best of both worlds. He reminds me so much of Puyol in the good sense. I mean, there's no bad sense from Puyol, but in the sense that he always strives to win the ball. He doesn't really put any challenge short. He always go 100% with it. He doesn't care to be rough and tumble. Íñigo Martínez, what a defender. He was out of this world in this game, man. And the commentator said something really special, and I agree with that. Whenever Barcelona screws something up, there's always an Íñigo Martínez. There's always an Íñigo Martínez at the end to try and save your ass. And I think that that's so important for somebody like him. And we don't talk about enough about the passes that he makes, dude. He pings balls so good from the back line, either to Raphinha, to Lewandowski, to Lamine Yamal. He knows how to skip the midfield directly, and he's so precise with those crosses that he does from the back. Really, he's bossing like a midfielder, and I just love to see that. I love to see it. Íñigo Martínez, what a player, what a guy. And of course, guys, I can't go without talking about the last 5 minutes of the game. Ansu Fati and Lamine Yamal. Apparently, there are reports that Lamine Yamal said that he wanted to be substituted also that Ansu Fati could play. I'm not too sure about that. I cannot confirm that. I do not have inside information. I'm going to call Ansu Fati later to let me know if that's actually the case. But in the meantime, I'm just super happy that he played. I'm so excited. I cannot believe the excitement I was from watching Ansu Fati played. Like, honestly, having the 10 back on the field is something really special. When I remember that he actually was carrying the 10 and that was his squad number, dude, it was insane. Ansu Fati coming back, I cannot analyze him that much. I mean, he had, I think, a few passes. That's about it. He had one chance to square it to Raphinha, but he couldn't. Unfortunately, he could have gotten an assist. But I don't care. What do you make of this? What do you make of Ansu Fati playing some more games? People say that maybe it's one of his last appearances. I think that Ansu Fati, I don't know, man. I still think there's a player in him. He's way too young for us to be cutting short on a guy like him. But let's just wait and see, you know. I don't want to get too much into it. I'm just happy that he got minutes. I want to enjoy what I saw. Let's just be thinking about the moment, guys. Because, dude, Ansu Fati, what a comeback. What a comeback. Do we think that, is it finished? Honestly, please let me know. Because Ansu Fati has to be one of the most unluckiest players in the history of this sport. I'm not joking. I'm honestly not joking. So that's going to be it for right now, guys. Hope you have enjoyed this video. This was an incredible performance once again for Barcelona. Such an incredible way. Congratulations to all of you. You can sleep tight. You can sleep well. Feel yourself a Barcelona fan today, because wins like this don't tend to come often. And forget about anything that can happen next week. Just enjoy the moment, and then let's bring on the next game. You know what? The next game, that's the most important one. And then after that, let's think about the Champions League again. I think this team is doing something special this season. I already said it before. Let's wait and see how it progresses. See you in the next one. Take care. Ciao, ciao.